What's the best way to show what I'm doing? All right, let's see how that works. Oh, cool, honey. All right. So I figure, might as well knowledge share while I am doing the darn thing. Kind of build in public, as it were. And basically, I'm just, I put my media down, or measure it anyway, and put it aside for a second. And I'm going to fill this with water until, careful Casper, until, good job. Is that yummy? No, don't, can you please not throw that? Were you trying to give it to me? Thank you. See, basically you want water to be able to come up from the holes, but I'm starting to think there's a better way to do this. Yeah, don't touch it though, no touch it. Well, hon? Yeah, come. Use it all up, huh? Oh, we're live on YouTube, by the way. So it's a little touch and go right now, because I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but it's all I can do in the parts I have with the parts I have. So we'll have to work for now. It's a delicate balance between too much water and not enough water. It's a real fine line. Basically, the thinner your media is, and the smaller your reservoir, the less.
Can I go get my sausage?
Yeah, the less room for air there is. And we want to, I think, ultimately lick. You have to replace your water, though, from evaporation. I don't know if that's enough to do it. So I'm going to go fill this guy up. Okay, so I got a little bit more water here, you can see. And the goal here is I'm starting a local microgreen business selling to, let's just say, restaurants. And I want to show everyone how to do it. And the goal for me is just to have a fun little project in my city, using my methodologies that I've developed. So I don't know, the one person watching this, if you know anything about me, but I have a company that grows sprouts seeds for the molecules inside of them, and it's a very precise agricultural platform that I've developed there. This is the opposite. So I design a lot of home farms, or you could call them indoor farms. And so the goal with the media here, this is bamboo fiber, this is bamboo paper towels, the thicker version. There's a thinner version on Amazon, you want the thicker version, you could tell. And it's a heavy duty reusable paper towel, but it's really good for microgreens. And you want to fold it under your towel, under your tray, so it wicks up and feeds your crops. Now I have here a 10 by 20 shallow with holes, and you need to do two things. You need to make sure your whole media is completely saturated, so that there's just a thin layer of water across everything, right? And then you also need to fill your reservoir here as much as you can without water pooling on the top. That's the key. So as I'm kind of doing research and development on camera, I'll share my findings, so to speak. But I already know ways to improve this. Okay, so then you want to weigh your seeds out, and I use a weed scale. But back in my day, weed was illegal. Tear it with something that you can move the seeds with. I'm just using a random manila envelope. Okay, and then what was the seeding density for basil? Let me get a closer look at this. I think it was 15 grams, 10 grams. I'm gonna check real quick. Basil microgreens planting density. Basil. Basil, Genovese, Johnny Seeds, love these guys, growing information. Hey Casper, don't touch it, okay? No touch it! Yes. Yes. Basil microgreens, seeding density, 1 ounce. Basil. Oh, okay, there you go. Basil, 1 ounce, 4 to 7 days black out. Sounds like a vacation to me. All right, so basil microgreen seeds, according to some random blog, I always have to Google it, is 1 ounce of seeds per tray, 4 to 7 days without light. 1 ounce is, let's see how many grams of seed that is. I don't know if I have 1 ounce of seeds left. But so, load, ounce T, OZT. How many, 28 grams in an ounce, is that? Seems like a lot. I did 10 grams of arugula. So here I have 16 grams. I thought 15 was the good number. And now basil is one of the hardest to germinate. You get one shot. They're tiny seeds, tiny seeds, and compared to like big kind of granular, this is arugula, which is also a small seed as well. You can see that. But basil, it has this protein layer on the outside. So as soon as it gets wet, it starts turning into like chia seeds. So you can't move them after that. They'll stick together. And stop. The ideal pattern is just evenly and untouching, all of them untouching. So the safest way is by hand to sprinkle, but it takes forever. The fastest way is to hold this and shake it out, but you get one try. Yeah, honey. Yes. And if you do that, you gotta let them bounce around a little bit when they hit the floor, or they hit the media, so that you get this nice dispersion. So I just like grab it like that, whatever I'm using, whatever piece of, and I kind of shake it from side to side, and I start with the perimeter. And then I work my way in and see, we still have a lot of seeds left. You should be able to do it in, there's lanes, if you will. That's the kind of coverage you want. You can also go zigzag, but you just want completely as evenly spread out as you possibly can. The more the seeds clump, the more places you're gonna have problems. So wherever the seeds clump, like if I were to just plop a dime size chunk of seed down, you will have struggling plants there. And they'll twist and turn, they'll try to get it right, but if there's too much of that, it's gonna be a nightmare. And so, very quickly, you'll start seeing these things forming this gelatinous blob. And I'm gonna keep the camera, so I'm almost done here. I'm gonna keep the camera on them while that happens, so you can see. But basil basically needs to be completely coated in water, humid for, how do I say this? Seeds need to be coated, need the right temperature and humidity for their given species to know that you're tricking them into, spring is here. And let's see if I can actually. Right? So we're growing a microgreen business here. Pun intended. And I'm gonna grow samples in these two systems for local restaurants. And I grow plants professionally for supplements, but this is a completely different way to do it. I design a lot of systems, vertical farming systems, so I guess you can call me a vertical farming engineer, which is like there's like 4 of us in the world. So this is basil, and it's gonna have this nice pop and really strong flavor, but the dispersion of the seeds has to be, you're one and done. You don't get to move them around. They'll clump together so fast. And so anytime you plant the seeds, you want to apply a thin layer of water molecules all over the seeds. And so this is actually just household hydrogen peroxide, 3% hydrogen peroxide. So you're going to be sanitizing, you're going to be hydrating, and hydrogen peroxide turns into oxygen when it breaks down, when it's no longer useful. And so it's going to turn into oxygen as well, which further inhibits mold growth. And so it's just all around. You can't put too much 3% hydrogen peroxide on your plants. It's mild enough that it doesn't hurt anything. And if you spray 3% and things start bubbling and fizzing, that's bacteria being destroyed. Literally, it's ripping electrons out of their guts, and so if that's not a good sign. The more fizzing, the more bacteria. If it's not going away after one spray, you're toast. So you just want to get every seed coated in at least one layer of water molecules. That is the basic gist. And then you want the water molecules to touch on top of the seed. You want them to touch the media, and that way the media is wet, and there's an unbroken chain of water molecules all the way to the reservoir, and they can replace the ones that are evaporating from the top. And you can just start to see the protein forming. Gosh, can we go any further? Can we zoom in? Zoom, 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 zoom. Oh, shit. What the fuck is going on here? It's a pretty dope view. What is going on? Why am I an idiot? Don't answer that. Nobody answer that. All right, it's the best we can do. This is good. So you can see them turning bluish. And soon they're going to be like jello. Coated in jello. All right. So that is good. And blackout for 4 days. What the fuck is? I need something to cover. Hey Anna, honey, do you want any more coffee? Do you want any more coffee? That's sold coffee. Is that good? We're live, Anna. God damn. All right. Oh man, come on. Uh-oh. He's going Joe Biden. Casper. Alright, this is the best I can do. It's not even big enough. Damn, dude. My trays are too big. Oh, that one would work. Kids. Not gonna even touch it. So, there we go. Indoor farming is a game of millimeters. The water levels are off, just a millimeter at a time. All right. Okay, bye. Is there anything you want to know about microgreen farming? I am starting a little microgreen business here. Hello, hello. Out of my house. I'm growing samples of microgreens for local restaurants. I'm gonna just walk them in and give samples to the chefs. They're gonna be blown away because the quality is so good. And then, of course, I'm doing them in a new and simpler way. I'm kind of trying to fine tune that right now. And so we're growing these microgreens with, minimal time, effort, energy, and we're gonna be selling them at maximum price point. I mean, because they're gonna be the nicest microgreens in town, and chefs like using microgreens for garnishes. So any high-end restaurant would rather use a garnish that matches or adds flavor to the dish. It's not just cilantro or just whatever the chives or whatever is the typical, old school garnish. And so if you get any amount of any type of seed, I can throw it in and boom. And so my goal is to draw up a menu and just have them fill it out, and I will incur the cost. I will go and do it. I will deliver it, and then I will drop an invoice off, and I'll collect that invoice the next time, 30 days from 60, 90 days after I give it to them. Win, win, win. So, peace in the Mideast.